Let's take a quick second for the Queen. Moment of silence, guys.
USA.
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 I don't understand why people in America are acting like they care about like the death of the Queen. It doesn't feel like it matters to me. It feels like it should barely matter.
Welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, El Cabal, a.k.a. Tony, a.k.a. the CEO, a.k.a. the cash checker, the writer, the cashier, the developer, whatever you want to call me. I'm all of it.
The withdrawer.
I almost said it. I stopped myself, though. Got my homeboys in the building, a.k.a. my co-host, a.k.a. the receivers, because they received the checks.
I've received 0 checks. Have y'all received any checks?
0. I just like to see him walk into the bank, deposit the checks, then walk straight to the ATM to withdraw the money.
And then don't forget, he has to then write a second voided check because apparently we received the check and we received the money. So I don't know how he handles all this.
I handle it.
Tony's bookkeeping is crazy.
I got my dog Doughboy in the building.
Yo, DJ Dory Fresh.
Damn, I was gonna hit you with the DJ Dory. I was even gonna say it correctly this time.
He was not.
He wasn't.
I wasn't.
You already called me Doughboy.
Yeah.
DJ Doe in the building.
DJ Dory Fresh.
Also in the building, I got my dog Mateo.
I'm back from the Wild West, dude.
Back from the wild, wild west.
Some would call it the Dakotas.
Some would call it the Wiki Wild West.
Some would say all you did was drink whiskey and tell people to suck your cock.
I did not tell people to suck my cock.
I don't know why, but I believe that.
But we did get kicked out of a casino for an incident related to that.
Also in the building, I got my dog Pucho.
What's going on, my brother?
Not much, but Mateo, please tell me about this kick out.
I'm back to the Bald Brotherhood, okay? We didn't record last week, so I didn't shave my head.
Oh.
And that meant I had a full head of hair this morning. It was bad. It took me a whole hour to get back to this beautiful, smooth head.
Do you just do a razor? Or do you have like one of those special like razors that's made for shaving bald heads?
I used to use a razor. Mm-hmm. I nicked my head too much. Then there's like this ring you could put on that it's like a razor and it has like a wheel, so it rolls on your head nicely. I did that for a while. It was an amount of effort because you can't use a razor if you got too much growth or else it kind of hurts when you shave. So then you're stuck like you got to do a trim. You either got to shave every day or you got to hit a trim and a shave when you want to shave. And I'd be working from home. So it's like, I don't shave throughout the week that much. Now I got one of them cranium things. It's got like 5 shavers and it's like a curved thing. And it's like, I just roll it on my head for a while.
That's the one I've seen. Those look cool.
It's just look dangerous.
Cool. Yeah, it's those like no nick shavers, like those Gillettes that look like a grill or whatever. But it's like 4 or 5 of those grills on like a curved thing.
Tony, I've got stories from my trip to the Wild Wild West. So first off, Deadwood is just a casino town. Like it's just a little touristy casino town. That is not what I expected, but I probably should have expected that. Like watching the show and knowing like what's going on there. They're just drinking and fucking and gambling in that show. So I don't know why I expected the town to not just be a big ass casino tourist town. But we did get kicked out of a casino the first night. We went real hard the first night. We went too hard the first night. You know what happens when everyone is just buying rounds? You have no idea how much you've actually drank. Like usually you can kind of gauge like, oh, okay, I've bought 3 drinks. I've spent this much money. This is how drunk I am. We did not have that because we were getting free drinks at the casinos. We were buying rounds of drinks. There was a bartender that we were talking to that we were in a mood, right? So I was trying to talk her into making the most ridiculous thing that I could think of. So I came up with the idea of a peanut butter and jelly shot, which is It's bad. It's a shot of Screwball. Have y'all ever done that peanut butter whiskey? Shot of Screwball in a wine glass, and then you fill the rest of the wine glass up with red wine. And I was trying to talk the bartender into making us this, and she was like, I am never making that. She's like, that sounds disgusting. It's not going to work out how you think it is, you fucking drunk. She's like, let me show you a real peanut butter shot. And she mixes together like Chambord and Screwball or something and gives us that. And holy shit, dude, it tasted like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It was amazing.
Thank God she didn't listen to your ass.
For real. Like she did me a big solid. But we were too drunk to be in public, but that's the whole like point of Deadwood. Not to mention we were there on like a holiday weekend, so there were a lot of people there. It was so packed. So we're walking around visibly drunk, too drunk. We play blackjack. I go through $40 in no time. I'm just getting like 13s and 12s while the dealer is showing like 20. I'm just fucked. All my money goes away. But we're loud. I'm obnoxiously like vaping at the table because I'm drunk, and like I'm like, well, someone will tell me no if I can't do it, so I'm just vaping at the table like a dick. We're loud, we're shit talking each other. I go out, Buddy's wife sits down in my spot, and we're all not doing well. So she's losing, and she's doing the same shit we are. What happens when you lose a hand of blackjack? You're like fuck or shit or whatever you're exclaiming, because we are all on this Deadwood kick. And we're, it's cocksucker this, cocksucker that, because that's what they do in the show. And we're being obnoxious. She loses the hand and she says, cocksucker. And the dealer is like, well, you're done. And everyone looks at him. We're like, what? And she tries to put her money into gamble again. And he pushes it out. He's like, no, I said you're done. Apparently, we got kicked out of the casino. The pit boss came over and, escorted everyone out. I was already back at the bar, like, getting like a Bud Light or something. But apparently we got kicked out because the dealer swears that she called him a name, and she and her husband were arguing. She was just exclaiming, you exclaim shit when you lose a hand at gambling. That's what you do. Everyone does that. Wasn't calling him explicitly. But yeah, so we got kicked out of the casino. I missed most of it because I was at the bar, but my buddies came through and they're like, we're leaving. We got kicked out. They're like, yeah. I was like, that tracks.
He was sick of your guys' shit. He was just sick of your guys' shit. He was like, oh, get the fuck out of here.
100%, dude. Other fun fact about Deadwood is it's a pizza town. Every single damn restaurant there just had pizza. So that's the joke now. It's Deadwood style pizza. That's how I'm gonna order my pizza from now on.
Is it good pizza though? Did you try it?
No, it's basically like frozen pizza.
Deadwood trash.
Yep.
That's fire though.
What did Mount Rushmore look like in person?
Mount Rushmore is impressive for about 20 minutes. And then it's like, okay, it's a big ass mountain that's been carved. It's cool. It's impressive. And then you leave because who's sitting around like in the gift shop at Mount Rushmore? No idea.
I don't know. That picture you posted looked incredible.
It's pretty cool. It is very cool. But the same thing though, like how long are you going to look at like a carve? Like how long would you spend looking at a statue?
Not long.
Yeah.
Not too long. How much money do you think they spend to keep that up? Or do you think it was carved once like 150 years ago and it's just been chilling there?
There's got to be maintenance. I bet there's a whole crew assigned to Mount Rushmore just to make sure that shit doesn't just shatter and like Teddy Roosevelt's face doesn't just end up at the bottom of the mountain.
It'd be like the Sphinx. Somebody's nose just comes off. And
Well, you definitely had a better time than me. All I did was watch Netflix. Chill my son. I did enjoy a new show on Netflix, Cyberpunk. Based off the game a little bit, but not really.
What's the plot of the show? Like real quick, what's the synopsis?
You're a boy and you hijack this like military tech, you infuse it with your body, and now you're just trying to figure out shit as it goes on, pretty much.
Okay, so it's pretty different from the game.
Yeah. I'm not too deep into it.
Are there characters from the game in there? Like, is Johnny Silverhand in there or anything like that? Or
nah, not really.
That's his name, right? It's been months since I played that.
I'm not even that far into the game.
In fact, I've just now really started sinking my teeth into Cyberpunk for the fourth time. But this time, I'm making some major headway. The game is great. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Definitely.
The quests leave a lot to be desired in terms of like how how much story there is. I feel like it's the complete opposite. I feel like in The Witcher 3, you'd get these like really rich stories for a side quest, and in this game, a lot of it feels like throwaway content. And the main stories are well crafted, but a lot of the side missions are just like, oh, go to this place, kill everyone, and then go to this other place, kill everyone, and there's it's just that. But I'm enjoying it.
Oh wow. I haven't gotten that deep. I can't wait to get at least that deep into it. I'm still like on the second mission, I guess. I don't know. But
yeah, I don't know how many missions I'm in, but I'm past like what they call is the intro. Like there's an intro, then there's a number of missions, and once you get past that, it's like the game opens up. So I've completed, because I know I'm a completionist. I got all the icons off the first map and all the icons off the second, I should say island, not map. And there's like 5 islands in the game. So, I'm working my way. I'm gonna clean this bitch up. I don't think I'm gonna platinum it. There's way too many
there's so much
missable things and shit. So we'll see how it goes.
That'll be a crazy plot. Very crazy. But no, yeah, the show is pretty dope, man. I was like, at first when I saw it, I was like, oh, this shit's not gonna be good or whatever. But no, it was fucking fantastic so far. Like I can't complain. It's super colorful.
It's like anime style, right? Like it's animated.
Yeah, it's animated. And yeah, I mean, I'd give it as of right now, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. To be honest, I'll definitely go give it a try. If you don't like anime or anything like that, don't watch it, obviously. But
the video game shows have been hitting. I'm gonna just say, like the cartoon shows. I'll say I watched a little bit of the Tekken show that exists. I thought it was cool. It wasn't like amazing, but it was cool.
There's a Tekken show.
Yeah, it just came out on Netflix like a month ago, maybe.
Oh shit,
maybe less than that. There's a Tekken show. The Castlevania show is lit.
Phenomenal.
You're telling me the Cyberpunk show is cool. There's another one. There's one more. Arcane was fucking fire. What is that? League of Legends? Yeah, I love the show. I don't even like the game. I can't even get into that game, but the show is great. So I don't know what they're doing in this animated world. They're really hitting something. Hollywood needs to follow suit because these movies are trash. Like all the movies are like C, B tier movies. It's like why do you even exist?
Wait, you're talking about video game movies or like trash tier movies?
Yeah.
What about Super Mario Bros?
I love that movie. All right, but it's because I watched that as a kid. Okay, that was like I coveted that movie. I watched it so many times. I could quote probably that whole movie. We should do
a party watch of like the Street Fighter movie from like the 90s or something.
See, I loved that movie when I was a kid too, but even as a kid, I knew that movie was shit. I remember knowing that movie sucked as a kid. Also because everybody's favorite character back in the hood is Ryu. That's like everybody's shit. How are you gonna make Guile the main character? They're gonna turn this into like America beating this like dictator in Bison or whatever. It's like, oh, okay, y'all just making the same fucking like 80s action movie I've been making for the last 10 years or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that one being bad. I'm trying to think of other like video game movies. The Tomb Raider ones, were those good? I never saw those.
I mean, they were good enough that they made like 3 of them.
The Resident Evil ones I could not get into. They were so like ridiculous and over the top. They were not what I was expecting from that game series. But also, there must have been good enough that there's like 5 of them. Yeah. Like they have to be doing something there. It's not a good representation of what the games are about. Mm-hmm. But they must be doing something right that they made 5 of them, I don't know. But there was like the Prince of Persia shit. There was the Avatar shit, The Last Airbender. Oh my God. I guess that's a cartoon. I forgot about the Prince of Persia one, dude. Yeah. They put a white man as a Persian man. So no, that's always fun stuff. Yeah, I know. People are up in arms right now. Ariel's black and somehow that doesn't make any sense. Some guy was ranting about, was it Alex Jones or someone? I don't know. They was ranting about it doesn't make sense that a mermaid would be black because, I don't know, water makes your skin light. Some bullshit like that. And they were like, if it was more accurate, her skin would be translucent. And I'm like, you're just a racist, man. We're arguing about the realism of like a woman that is half fish, half woman. A fucking mermaid.
And a merman in King Trident. You know, that's his name, right? King Trident.
I believe so.
I
I don't know. I think it's funny, all these like 40-year-old dudes and like late 30-year-old dudes and like 50-year-old dudes that are arguing about this shit and giving these like hot takes about like why a mermaid can't be black. It's like the movie's not even fucking made for y'all. Like the movie's not made for me. I'm outside of the demographic for this movie. So like it's not made for me. I think it's rad.
I love anytime anything happens like this, they'll be like, well, if Ariel gets to be black, I get to say the N-word. And you're like, how did you get to these? How did you get here? Like,
well, y'all don't like the new Pocahontas?
I saw this exact take. I retweeted this exact take, but it was about someone made fun of the Queen's death. And it was like, if y'all get to make fun of my Queen's death, then I get to say the N-word. And I'm like, I don't see how this tracks. All right, I'm not seeing it. You know,
it's a value. It's a level of disrespect. He feels disrespected, so he's gonna disrespect the only way he thinks it's a disrespect.
By the way,
that's all it is.
Let's take a quick second for the Queen. Moment of silence, guys.
USA.
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 USA. USA.
I don't understand why people in America are acting like they care about like the death of the Queen. It doesn't feel like it matters to me. It feels like it should barely matter over there, just because like it's just a figurehead position, right? Like there's no political power that comes with being part of the monarchy anymore. You just have a shitload of money, right?
Pretty much.
They have the power. They have the power to do something major, but they've never exercised that power. And the day they try to exercise that power, I think the Parliament will strip them of that power.
But I mean, there's so many people in America that care about like what Kim Kardashian and fucking Kanye are doing, and so whatever.
I do think though that if you live over there and you got that gold coin with Queen's face on it, send me that. I want to hold on to that, because when they change all that shit over, shit's gonna go up in value. Believe it or not. You make that face though, but it's gonna go up in value.
I don't think so. There's like a bajillion coins in circulation with the Queen's face.
The gold coin, specific.
There's a gold coin. I don't know enough about like the funny money they have in other countries.
Damn,
is there a
funny
gold
money?
Coin? Yeah, dude. You ever look at like Canadian money? They have loonies and toonies.
No.
Mm-hmm.
What's a loony and a toonie? What is
a loony is a $1 coin. A toonie is a $2 coin.
That's right. They have a lot of coins in fucking J.R. Tolkien,
in Japan,
J.R.R. Tolkien movie and shit. Mad coins in the bag.
In Japan, they got a lot of coins. There's a 1, a 5, I think a 10, a 20, a 50, and 100. There's mad fucking coins, and and 100 is 100 yen. It's $1. So there's like all these like
wow,
like it's it's the equivalent of $1 pretty much.
Crazy.
So they got so many fucking coins.
Y'all didn't like the Pocahontas, the new. Is that what y'all talking about, right?
Pocahontas. Is that a new thing?
Yeah, they got a new Pocahontas, and she's white. She's not Indian.
No,
she's white.
Well, she was never Indian. So.
What was she then?
Native American. Indigenous.
Native American. Indigenous, sorry.
I don't even like saying indigenous. It feels like that word derives from the word India, but I feel like I looked into this and I don't think it is. But I think it just feels that way. It's like, I don't know.
Okay, what are you talking about here, Tony? There's a white Pocahontas.
Yeah, the new one's technically, she's white. She's white face. She's American. She looks
white
American.
Face.
I don't know how else to put it. Twitter was going crazy.
I see no evidence of this movie existing. This is a movie, a TV show.
I don't know. I just saw a picture of it. Pocahontas white, and people were going crazy. They were going like, "What the fuck is this?" I don't know if it's real or not. I was just. I thought that's what y'all were talking about.
I bet it's someone trolling, but they were like, "Oh, a black mermaid is just like a white Pocahontas."
And now I get to say the N-word.
Is that the thing now? We're gonna do anything offensive to somebody? I'm gonna say the N-word.
That just feels that way. It always feels like there's one person.
That's how we should end all our arguments going forward.
Yeah. Anyways, I've been playing The Quarry. It's pretty good. Super massive games. It's one of those movie / interactive movies. You have a bunch of actual actors. David Attenborough's in this game. A bunch of young actors are also in this game. I've got to say, pretty fucking good. Other than like the small inconsistencies in the game, like she was in a lake and then she got out of the lake naked, but somehow she had her phone with her. And I'm like, how did the phone get in your hand? Why he didn't just eat the sandwich cold? So I've been playing that. It's good. It's scary. I like it. I've been
Those games
enjoying
look like a lot of fun. They look like if you could talk like 4 people into coming over and drinking and just chilling and playing that game, it'd be a fun night.
They're super campy, and there is a multiplayer mode in these games now too.
Really?
Where I guess you kind of just pass the controller around every time you're a different character. But I think that is kind of cool.
That's not multiplayer. That's like saying Sonic the Hedgehog 1 has multiplayer because, you know, I would pass the controller to my cousin when I would lose a life.
I used to like
Sonic the Hedgehog did have multiplayer though.
Yeah.
One person could try really hard. They could control Tails with the other remote.
Oh, I forgot about Tails. Wasn't that
wasn't
Sonic
very
2 though,
good.
where they added in Tails?
Maybe that was only Sonic 2. I
Sonic
can't
2
remember.
maybe.
Yeah, and Tails was the one you would just send in to do the bullshit test. It's like you've got infinite life anyway. Just run in there and kill that guy.
Yeah, my brother used to give me the remote to play as Miles. He's Miles, Tails, Miles, some weird shit
Tails,
like
Miles,
that.
yeah.
Tails miles per hour.
You know which one had something like that? The Kirby All-Star game also had something like that, where if you had a familiar and you put it plugged in a second controller, you could control the familiar.
I've got a question for y'all boys. Tony says that his power just went out. Is he lying to us because I can see stuff on his camera, or is that the residual shit that we see whenever someone disconnects?
It's
His Zencaster went offline, so I think
his power must have actually gone out.
Yep.
I didn't see the text. That's why I snapped. I'm like, fuck.
Okay. So we
Tony
just
always got
continue.
some bullshit.
Where does Tony live that he's always got these internet outages, power outages?
Lake Worth is notorious
hood.
for
He's
that.
living in the hood right
Lake
now.
Worth is notorious for this shit. Damn. So pause.
Nah, my
Clap
dad's
out.
recording. Let's just keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah, I've got my recording going. We're good. We can make it work with something. We might have to resync or something once he gets back in. There goes Tony out, and now
There
on
goes
the top.
Tony.
It's always exciting, boys. I have lost track of how long we've been recording for, though.
We're at 23 minutes.
Yeah.
So not too
We're good.
bad.
So, what the fuck was I going to say? So, I found it funny, right? To bring it back to the Queen. I found it hilarious that the whole Black Twitter's reaction, there was a lot of happiness to the Queen's death, which was weird because I didn't know that anybody hated the Queen like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were they were like, I guess back in the day, and I remember this because like my female sibling, my female cousins and shit, they were obsessed with Princess Diana. Apparently, a whole bunch of people think the Queen had Princess Diana killed, and now the Queen died, and now everybody's like rejoicing. It's like you know, revenge for Princess Diana or something like that. Which I found this hilarious. But.
I think it's multi. Like there's multiple reasons for it, right? I think that it's partially that whole conspiracy theory that the Queen had Princess Diana killed. I think it's the racism that the monarchy showed towards Meghan Markle.
Yes. Ooh, yes.
Yeah, I'm not familiar
and
with
the
that
racism that British Twitter shows towards her in general. Because like, man, I even saw one where they had like a picture of Meghan Markle like at the funeral, and she was like smirking a little bit because she was talking to someone. They're like, how disrespectful, fucking smiling during a funeral. How dare you? They're like, and she even had the audacity to walk out holding hands with her husband. Like
It's so stupid. All their little things that they look at over there. To me, it's so like, I'm like, wow. It's almost like they're like 100 years back in like, as far as it's weird. It's like they have all these formalities, all these things that they don't do and they should do. And I just think it's all fucking silly to have that much care about a person is like, Nobody is that special in my life.
They just do funny things over there. Those hats that they wear in the parliament, those are some funny hats.
You know, the thing that I was curious about is like my boss was asking me, like, can you imagine us doing this for anyone in America and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I have no idea. I was like, but I wonder what it was like after like JFK got assassinated. Like, was that like a big, long period of mourning for the country? Were there funeral processions all across the nation? I have no idea. That was long before my time.
Yeah, I feel like it feels different because it's a different time. Like, I feel like everybody across America rejoiced when we landed on the moon and shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like if and when we land on Mars, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. I think it'll be a headline on the internet and people just be like, oh, that's crazy. And then just carry on with their lives. Whereas, like, I feel like when we landed on the moon, it seems like the lives of every child in America changed at that moment. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like we're inundated with so much information that even the important big stuff doesn't hit the same way, you know?
You might be right. I am stoked for man, dude. I'm even stoked for us just to go back to the moon. Like the Artemis missions, cool as hell. So damn cool.
Same.
So Mars is going to be. I would
to
probably take a day off on like the day that they're like, this is the day we're going to land on Mars officially. The spaceship's been in flight for 2 months or whatever. That'd be cool.